Hey everyone out there, this is Chip Moreno coming to you from Ecuador. A little bit of context, I'm the founder of EcuaPass, Ecuador Visa Services, and today I'm going to be giving you a breakdown on the professional visa. So the professional visa actually allows you to register your degree in Ecuador and show $482 a month in income, and you can move to Ecuador just by registering your BS degree. Any bachelor's degree from an accredited university works. There are some restrictions with online degrees. I got my degree completely online. I graduated in 63 days from WGU, also known as Western Governors University in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's an online college. I have a degree in computer science. I registered my degree with Senecit and got a professional visa. So if you did your degree 100% online, you'll have to review a certain PDF, which is located on the Senecit website, to see if your degree will or won't work. Certain degrees, like if you were a doctor, that could not be done 100% online. Or if you were a nuclear engineer, they don't allow that to be done 100% online. But most degrees, you can do them 100% online, and it's going to be okay. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the professional visa and what the requirements are and trying to give you as much information as I can. I've spent a lot of time working with Ecuador visas for people, so trying to share some of that information. So it's a 2-year visa to maintain your track to permanent residency. First of all, you can't apply for permanent residency until you've held a temporary 2-year professional visa for 21 months. You also can't leave for more than 90 days during that 2-year visa period. So as soon as your visa is approved, that 90-day clock starts ticking. You're allowed 90 days outside of Ecuador for the entire visa period to maintain your track to be able to apply for permanent residency around month 21 of your visa. So let's talk about the requirements. First of all, let's talk about the Senecit requirements. First of all, registering your degree with Senecit is very challenging. It took me about 5 months. If I had more of the information up front, I want to say it would have taken me around 4 months, but honestly, it's a challenging process. It's a challenging institution, but I'm going to try to tell you what documents are required. What's cool about Senecit is you can actually write an authorization letter for someone else in Ecuador to do the in-person appointment. All Senecit registrations now have an in-person appointment where you have to go and present the original documents to a Senecit officer in Ecuador. So that can be very hard if you don't have the visa yet, if you can't get into Ecuador. Luckily, you can write a letter for someone authorizing them. You'll still need to mail your documents into Ecuador though. So if you're delegating that meeting to someone else, you'll need to write an authorization letter for them. I graduated particularly quickly, so they requested a beginning and end date of my studies and a copy of the curriculum of my degree. I think that was because they graduated so quickly. I think for most people, they are not going to request that. And they also requested proof of accreditation of my college, of Western Governors University. So I went online. It's relatively simple to get a PDF proving my university is accredited. They request what's called an ISCED code. A lot of colleges, for whatever reason, no longer issue this code. You can just get a letter from your registrar's office saying they do not issue an ISCED letter. A lot of these letters are just going to be from the registrar office of your university. They can be a PDF with a little, ink signature, and you can just print that out and it'll work. So either for the ISCED requirement, either a letter with the ISCED code, this is like a unique code designating your degree internationally, or a letter stating they don't do it. Either of those will work. My university didn't do them. You'll need what's called a field of knowledge letter. This is a confusing one for most people. A field of knowledge letter is just, they want your university to write what your degree is about. Not literally the names of the classes, but I graduated with a computer science degree. So they said, this degree contains mathematics, programming, and prepares for software engineering. Not just the transcript. A lot of people think the transcript will satisfy the field of knowledge requirement. It won't. They want a letter from your university talking about what's in the degree. What's cool about Senecit is these do not require a certified translation. For the visa process, a lot of things require certified translation. But for Senecit, if it's in English or Spanish, you're okay. Maybe for another language, they would require a certified translation, but Spanish and English are both good to go. Anyway, that's the field of knowledge letter. Have your university's registrar office write a letter talking about what's in your degree. You'll need your diploma, and you'll need to get that apostilled in the state it originated in. Have your diploma notarized by your registrar's office. Typically, they're going to have a notary in-house. Have them notarize it, and then have them send it directly to the state for apostille. Communicate the process to your registrar's office. They're going to appreciate that because towards the end of the Senecit process, sometimes Senecit will want to talk to your university directly via email. So you want to prep them a little bit that they can be challenging to work with. You'll want a stamped copy of your transcript. So the registrar's office will stamp that. A lot of people get confused because it says a sealed copy of your transcript. They don't mean sealed in an envelope. They mean with a seal on it, okay? Copy of your transcript showing what you studied. And they want a modality letter. A modality letter is going to say if the program was online, or if it was in person, or if it was hybrid. And if it was hybrid, what percentage was it hybrid, to determine if your degree falls into those online degree categories. Okay, so that is the Senate process. To do the Senate process, I believe you might need to make a deposit in a Banco El Pacifico. So you'll want to hire a company like my own, EcuaPass Ecuador Visa Services, or at least have a friend in Ecuador who can go to Banco del Pacifico and make that payment for you. It can be challenging to make a bank deposit in an Ecuadorian bank from abroad. So Senate could be a lot easier if you have a friend in Ecuador who you can mail the documents to. They can go to that appointment and they can make that bank payment for you. The rest of it you should be able to do from outside of the country. And if you're mailing stuff to Ecuador, do not use USPS, use DHL. If you use USPS, documents can get lost when they're being mailed to Ecuador in the Servicios del Postal. You don't want your documents to end up in that institution. Ecuador does not really have a functioning federal mail system. Use DHL or use FedEx. That's Senate. You'll need to get that done before you apply for your visa. Senate can take a long time. I would not plan on a date moving to Ecuador until at least Senate is done, and really until your whole visa is done, because the response to your visa application can take 95 days right now as of July of 2026. So be patient. Professional visa takes a minute, but it's possible. And it's great because you only need to register your degree here and really show some very basic income, and you can move to Ecuador. Let's talk about the requirements for the visa once your Senate is done. You're gonna need to get a passport photo taken, 5 by 5 centimeters, blank background, basic. You'll need a passport scan of your passport with at least 6 months remaining. If you're coming from the US, you'll want an apostilled FBI and state background check. If you're coming from a different country, an apostilled federal background check generally works. And those will need certified translations and notarizations. You could use my company, EcuadorTranslations.com, to get those certified translations done. Professional visa does not require a birth certificate, and it does not require health insurance. Common misconception: almost all Ecuador visas, except if you're going to be a kid dependent on someone else, do not require a birth certificate. And the retirement visa requires health insurance, but anyway, professional does not. You will want to show monthly income. So what you can do, really the best thing you can do, is open an Ecuadorian bank account and get 3 months showing $500 a month in income. That's going to be just one SBU, basic salary unit, and that's as of 2026. So that's going to go up next year. This year's SBU is 482. Technically, you could do 482 a month for 3 months, and that would work, but you want a little buffer in there. The SBU goes up every January. Last year, it went up $12. So you will want to have a little buffer in there in case it goes up while you're working on your visa, right? And that can literally just be you depositing cash into an Ecuadorian bank account and taking it out immediately. The reason using an Ecuadorian bank account is better is because it doesn't require an apostille or a notarization or a translation, whereas foreign bank statements sometimes can require all those things. So you can use foreign bank statements, you just may need to apostille them, so it's more affordable to use Ecuador bank statements. If you can come here as a tourist and open a bank account while you're here, it can make the process easier. Of course, you'll need your degree registered in Senate, and you'll need to pay the fee, and you'll need to get your diploma certified, translated, and notarized. That should already have been apostilled for the professional visa process, for the Senate process. But for the visa application, it will need a translation. For Senate, it will not. So, important to know. You'll apply via the e-visa system. Of course, you can always hire a company like my own, EcuaPass Ecuador Visa Services, to do the visa for you. But you'll apply via the e-visa system, and responses right now as of July 2026 can take 60 to 95 days. Anyway, I hope this was a helpful breakdown of the professional visa. And let me know in the comments if you have any questions. This is Chip Moreno signing off to you from beautiful Ecuador. And welcome to Ecuador if you're planning on moving here. Great decision. It's an awesome country. Thanks for watching.